Hello, my name is Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we get down and dirty to find out which of the now annual Battleforce releases are worth your time and precious dollaros. For those of you familiar with our previous buyer's guides, we're going to be bringing you grades for each of these products in the form of what value they provide for painters and modelers. In other words, how much volume and variety of models are you getting? Value for points, as in how much power and or points will this get me on the battlefield, and could it be a legal army straight out of the box? And finally, overall value for money, or how much would this have cost you buying each unit separately? We'll be grading these boxes comparatively, so even a poor remark will not negate the fact that you're still getting decent value for money like most of GW's box sets. It's just a matter of how much. It should also be noted that although these aren't being billed as approximate 1000 point starter armies, or the alternative 50 power in 40k, we'll still be assessing these as potential starter products that could constitute that next step from start collecting boxes. The only difference of course being that these Battleforces are in limited supply. Calling all cars, it's future Benji here, a version of myself that has had the misfortune of witnessing the appalling events of this past weekend. If you logged in at any time over 24 hours after the pre-orders went up on Saturday, you would have been greeted with this sight. Absolutely glorious consumer viewing, I'm sure you'll agree. Okay, I accept that limited supply items are going to sell out at some point. But when you're labelling them as Christmas gifts, you'd expect a little bit more than this nonsense. So Merry Christmas scalpers, you excellent people. And shame on you GW for not printing more of these Battleforces, so those that wanted to unwrap these on the 25th actually could. Alas, the remainder of this video will be kept as is, and would be good for both posterity and for those that are able to still get hold of a copy from somewhere. Future Benji, over and out. One interesting point of note before we crack on is that there are 6 boxes for 40k and only 4 for Age of Sigmar. Only GW know why that is. Maybe it's because 40k 9th edition is being pushed so hard at the moment, but just as likely it's because it's the more popular system. What I find somewhat odd as well is the uneven distribution between alliances in both systems, with Chaos getting short shrift in 40k, with a lot of love being shown to Xenos races, albeit not unreasonably so, and Death getting hosed in Age of Sigmar with no representation whatsoever, in favour of 2 destruction boxes. We transition from last week's video as smoothly as possible at this point to the Age of Sigmar, who, as I've mentioned, have to satisfy themselves with 4 cardboard boxes to choose from. And we'll kick things off with the Caradron Overlords, a merry steampunk bunch of dwarves. You can just about cobble together a vanguard sized army here, at least so long as you pick a particular skyport, or sub-faction as we'll call it for the layman. This also adds up to a D grade for value for painters. Yes, there's some bigger models here, but there's just not enough going on comparatively with the other boxes to warrant anything higher. A much brighter B, however, is awarded for value for points. As I've already mentioned, you can get a Vanguard game up and running with just this box. Would it be particularly pretty? Maybe not, but facts are facts. All that's left is to give a tippy top A grade for overall value for money though. This isn't a cheap faction, being that everything here is still relatively new and what you're getting doesn't rob you blind. Mosey on over to Chaos. The Disciples of Tzeentch box is a thing of bright coloured beauty. Packing in a couple of leaders and an equal amount of battle line units, this comfortably deserves its awarded A for value for painters. There's a lot going on and it will certainly keep you busy for a while. Another shape of an A is drawn on the paper when scoring its value for points. You got enough for a Vanguard army and then some, with the contents on display here. And so this segues nicely into an A grade for overall value for money as well. This is just an all-star box and probably the best of all the Battleforces across both game systems, but certainly the best in these 4 for Age of Sigmar. Destruction is where we finish our tale today, one good and one not so good. Kicking things off with the Gloomspite Gits, aka the comic relief of this here compendium of Battleforces. With a veritable horde of gobos and squigs to build and paint, and comprised of 2 leaders, 2 can-be battle lines, and a bunch of squig hoppers. So things start well with a B for value for painters. I defy you not to enjoy painting some of these models, but it's a quite terrible D for value for points. This doesn't even get you close to a Vanguard army, so you'll need to consider this a supplementary product in many ways. And it only gets marginally better with a C grade for overall value for money. That's in part because there's some old molds here and the Gits are a swarm army, but nonetheless this isn't the greatest product in this here video. Conversely, the Ogre More Tribes box is released off the back of the newly released Sons of Behemat models, with some crossover appeal with the Man Crusher Gargants. You'll get 1 leader, 2 battle line, an artillery and a behemoth alongside 2 units that can be converted to battle line. There's a lot to like here, when the worst you can say about it is it only gets a B for value for painters. You know you're probably onto a winner here. Dishing out an A though for value for points, here getting you the most points for your money, and to bookend the quality on offer, an as expected A for value for money. This is by definition great value and a great example of what makes big box products win and an excellent starter product rolled into one. So there you have it, a surprisingly up and down set of products in terms of value, but as I said at the outset, no matter which way you look at it, these boxes come packed with loads of goodies. However, that's it from me. I'll see you next time.